That's one of the secrets.
And action.
And action. You must be watching my videos, Walter.
Sure. First of all, what a treat. Thank you very much for your time. I need to thank you for your work because you have moved me in so many ways. When I first saw you harnessing the power of Shakespeare plus pop music plus fashion and music, thank you for, rocking my world and dilating my pupils. Thank you very much.
Hey, well, thank you. I'm happy to rock your world and dilate your pupils. I'm very honored to do it.
Now let's talk EPiC. Okay, you find yourself with, if I understand correctly, 68 boxes of film and close to 45 minutes of Elvis talking about himself. I mean, where do you go from there? How do you even start? What's your system for tackling this?
Absolutely, man. Like, we found it accidentally. It was literally in salt mines in Kansas where they keep the MGM stuff. It was negative too. So I worked with the wonderful Peter Jackson to bring the material back to life. And of course, John O'Redman. But the big moment was finding the 45 minutes of him just talking unguarded.
Yeah.
And I went, well, look, we can't hit up the old ones. What if he just comes to you in a dreamscape and tells you his story from his point of view? Because everything with Elvis is always someone telling you about it. Having Elvis tell the story and then pepper it with 75 songs was the idea. And once we got that idea, the rest was kind of enjoyable, to be honest.
But you had like a system? Like, okay, I'll watch everything and sort of, I don't know, it must be daunting.
We watched it all, and then we made pods on themes like childhood or the rebel years or, how he felt about treating people or kindness. And then we made these big pods, and they were long, and then we would pare them down. And as we got more and more of his voice, you see, sometimes we had audio of him talking. Sometimes we had to send people out to car parks and deal with gangsters to buy black market audio of Elvis talking about himself.
What a weird. Wow. I hope somebody does a documentary on you making this someday.
Yeah, there's definitely one.
Oh, really?
Well, it was great.
I'd love to see it. It's great. One of my joys while watching EPiC was to see Elvis work, like at work, because I got to witness his deep love and understanding of music. You, as an artist yourself, and one who has been exposed to Elvis for a long time now, what about him do you think will influence your artistry from now on?
I think what you see with him is that he lives the music. He is the music. What I get from it and what's useful is to be reminded that no matter what you do, you can't escape the way you tell a story or the way you deal with music. And there was no intellectual distance between Elvis and music. He absorbed it. He felt it.
Sure.
And by feeling it, he interpreted it.
Wow.
And I think with me, I got to just make sure I'm doing things that I truly feel and tell it in the way that I feel and be more fearless with that. Yeah.
Great. What about his restraints? Because at one point you even put him saying, I'm not even allowed, or I can't even talk about that, what he couldn't do.
You mean about the Vietnam War?
Elvis, when he was being questioned, he said, "Oh, I'm just an entertainer."
Well, the first thing he says is, "I'm just an entertainer." But the second question is, well, what about other artists? He says, no, they should express themselves. And I think that Elvis, apart from the fact that the Colonel always had him, avoid politics, but Elvis expressed his politics through music. I mean, they didn't want him to record in the ghetto. The next thing he sings a song which goes, there are people in reservation and in the ghetto, and but for the grace of God, we go there. So before you criticize and abuse, walk a mile in my shoes. I mean, when Bobby Kennedy, who was leading the civil rights movement, was shot by him, he stayed up all night and wrote "If I Could Dream."
Yeah.
Well, that might have been with MLK actually, but the point is that he always expressed himself through song, because that's something that the Colonel couldn't edit.
Great. Well, I think my time's up. I could talk to you for hours. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, nice talking.
That's one of the secrets.